Welcome back to your live continuing BeTerrific coverage of the New York International Auto Show 2015 at the Jacob K. Javits Center in New York City. We're live. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, one of my favorite trucks, I think actually my favorite truck, I'm not going to say one of, it is my favorite truck, is the Range Rover. You're from Range Rover, Jaguar, two awesome brands. We're going to talk a lot about these cars. Range Rover is literally, in my mind, the best truck. It's not only rugged, it can not only get through anything, but it's also luxurious. It's not inexpensive, but it certainly is a great value proposition, and it is something to aspire to, I would say. It is unbelievable. Let me just go through some specs here that are unbelievable. You've got a huge V8 engine. You've got, you can get a supercharged version. You've got great handling, huge tires, great braking, okay? Massive amounts of horsepower. This car can get up and go. But here's my favorite feature. You got heated steering wheel, heated and air-conditioned seats, blah, 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 blah. Okay, every luxury feature you'd ever want. My favorite feature, you ready for this? The defroster in the windshield so that I don't have to blow air on myself. I hate getting air blown in my face in the winter. And so instead of actually, I literally keep the vents on the floor only. Yep. In a normal car, you hit defrost and it goes all over the place. And I've now got hot air blowing in my face. Yep. In the Range Rover, they figured out that instead of you use the same technology that's in the back window, but instead of those thick, big lines, you put it in the front windshield, almost invisible. You wouldn't even know. And push a button, no air's blowing in my face.
Absolutely, you avoid the jet stream completely.
Most people don't even know that. I had a friend, he drove a Range Rover for 3 years, didn't even know that that's what was happening.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And then even you miss the part where you don't even have to scrape it from the exterior.
Right.
Because it just absolutely melts everything away.
Well, I thought if you had a Range Rover, you didn't have to worry about that anyway.
Just in case you're parked on the street ever, it's no problem.
Right. So it is literally like my single favorite feature, and it's so silly because there are so many great features, but it's just inventive, it's creative, it's innovative, and the thing is, it makes my experience so much more pleasurable.
Yeah, no, and that's the target with Range Rover as a whole. It's how much can we satisfy the customers.
How lucky are you to be at Range Rover and Jaguar? It's unbelievable.
No, I think beyond lucky, quite honestly. It's two fantastic historic brands that are just going through this unbelievable renaissance with a ton of great new product coming over the last 3 years, and watch out for what we have in store over the next few years.
I was first introduced to a Range Rover in like 1991. My friends took me, my friend's mother got a Range Rover, that beautiful old body style, which I think is gorgeous. They just got it, and they were taking me to a hockey tournament. We were on the same hockey team. And I didn't even know what a Range Rover was. This was ugly brown. That was the only knock you could have on this thing. It was like the most hideous brown color. I was like, what are you doing? Why would you buy a car
Everyone loves
that
a different paint.
Right, I know. So they took us to a hockey tournament in Lake Placid, and what do you think happens on the way there? It's snowing like crazy. Cars are sliding off the road left and right. We're freaking out. We're like 11 years old. We're going to play at the Olympic hockey rink in Lake Placid, where Team USA won the gold medal in 1980. And so excited and so in fear that we're going to crash, and watching these cars, literally watching cars spin off the road. And we made it with no problem. Fast forward years later, I was an anchor and reporter for New York 1, and I couldn't get to the station in a major snowstorm. And a friend of mine with a Range Rover said, hop in, and drove me there. No problem. Cut through massive amounts of snow with no problem.
Yeah, no, and that's the whole point is, we look at Range Rover as the original luxury SUV, and it's been built for the jungles, the deserts, or even just an icy parking lot.
Is there anything it's not capable of?
So it can go through absolutely anything.
Is there anything it's not capable of?
It can't float.
and what's amazing is that you then have all these additions, like the autobiography is unbelievable. Just so much custom work and great paneling and all sorts of stuff. Talk about the autobiography a little.
Yeah, so the latest one we revealed was the SV autobiography from our special vehicle operations. Limited edition, only 200 units. But on the interior, almost every surface is covered in leather, wood, or real aluminum. So we upgraded the whole thing for this year, where there's a lot of new aluminum pieces, from the shift paddles to the rotary that controls the transmission. Everything's been done in this great textured aluminum as well, so that you're getting real quality, real materials throughout it.
And you guys have a longer wheelbase now, again, for a little bit more luxurious comfort, maybe if you have a driver who's going to take you around.
Absolutely, or even if you just want to spoil your rear seat passengers. The 2 rear seats now.
My sense is that if you have a Range Rover, your kids are spoiled enough, by the way.
Well, this is if you just want to go over the top. The rear seats, they're cooled.
Never
they're
spoiled
heated.
enough, by the way. I'm just kidding.
Cooled, heated, massaging, electric operation. There's electric tray tables that come out with tablet mounts. There's a chilled bottle holder with glasses in it.
Never ceases to amaze me. It just keeps getting better and better. I will tell you, the most interesting thing about the Range Rover to me is, and I've driven the original body,
Yes.
I've driven the boxy body, the one that I love that kind of harkened back to the original body that just kind of phased out. It harkened back to the original body but was completely modern.
Yep.
And then, of course, I haven't yet driven the current one, but I want to. The one thing that always amazes me about Range Rover is that it feels like you're driving a small car when you're driving it, but it's this huge vehicle.
Yeah, and they have a fairly compact footprint so that they can off-road extremely well. But the whole idea is a lot of use of aluminum to make it feel that much lighter. A lot of power between those V8 and our supercharged V6 engines. We've got diesel coming later this year, so that real easy, smooth acceleration. The whole idea is that this is a car that can go anywhere and do anything you want it to.
And it gets up and goes really quickly. I love all the Land Rover vehicles. I really do. And the Evoque is really cool. What about the D90? Can we ever see another D90 in the United States? The Defender is just so cool.
I get asked that question a lot.
Yeah.
The Defender, we're just about phasing it out globally right now.
Really?
But there will be a successor.
Good.
And it will come to North America.
Because it'll have airbags and all the other standard features you need to be in America, right?
So it's one of the future products that I'm absolutely most excited about.
I wanted that so
But there will be a
badly.
future Defender in North America.
Excellent.
So rest assured.
It's going to have a heater that works really well too, right?
Maybe.
I wanted a Defender 90 so badly. I really, when I was young, I wanted that so badly. And they still, whenever I see them, I'm like, oh.
Well, you'll do it again with the new one once it comes out.
Without a doubt. You get to drive everything. Is there a favorite Land Rover that you have, or is it the Range Rover?
On the Land Rover side, I actually love the LR4.
Do you really?
Yeah, absolutely. Right in the middle of our range, but so utilitarian, capable of anything, carries up to 7 people, does everything you want it to, off-road and on-road. I absolutely love that one for myself.
It is very cool. I like it a lot. Okay, you're also with Jaguar.
Yes.
So, I don't know. You guys don't have anything that interesting, do you? Maybe like an F-Type R? Tell me about the F-Type R, because I know that you've gotten lucky that you've gotten a lot of wheel time behind the wheel, and I want to know when we're going for a ride.
Yeah, anytime you want, quite honestly.
Excellent.
No, F-Type R is fantastic. It's one of those, that's a car, as soon as we were about to launch it, I couldn't be any happier. We finally had a new Jaguar sports car after about 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's just been putting smiles on faces across the globe, between the exterior design, the performance, 550 horsepower.
And I think the thing that's really cool about it is, people don't realize that you could drive it all year round. Could you not if you put snow tires on?
Absolutely. If anyone was in the New York area, I was that guy driving the F-Type R all through every one of the snowstorms this year.
It was such a bad winter. You have to be a little crazy to do that, right?
Most people thought so,
Yeah.
but it's great. Between snow tires, which help immensely, the car's so low, so planted, well balanced, and then we have a fantastic winter mode, which helps the traction control. It slows down the acceleration and throttle a little bit.
You don't want all 550 horsepower one time going to the
scale it back
snow.
a little bit when you're in the middle of some of those ice storms and snowstorms we had.
You're bold, but I like it. That's what I would
Thank
want
you.
to do. Jaguar has had such a renaissance. It really has. My grandmother, first of all, had an XJ6. Green, and I remember going with her to the gas station, and we'd fill up on one side, go around the other side of the tank and fill up again, and I loved it. I don't know, I thought it was the coolest thing. They had the shift knob that was like, it was actually, if anybody knows anything about broadcasting, it was like a T-bar on a video switcher.
Yep.
That's what it looked like. It was super cool. And there was all sorts of other cool features of the car. And then, of course, there were so many other variants of Jaguar that are amazing. But really, I think that everybody looks at the XKE as the Jaguar Marquet vehicle for so many years. And I'm loving that the F-Type R is really taking that over. And like you said, a real sports car finally again.
Absolutely. And now what we're trying to do is stretch that car even further. It's just going into its 3rd year now. We're adding manual transmission as an option, which has all the enthusiasts going crazy.
You are adding manual transmission? How many speed?
6-speed manual.
Wow.
On both the supercharged V6 versions. So that's available right now. It's just going on sale in the dealerships. And we're rolling out all-wheel drive this year too.
So that
F-Type R just got faster.
And it got better in the snow,
absolutely.
too. I like that a lot.
So yeah, and it's one of these things we'll continue to push F-Type. We're even rolling out a new warranty and maintenance package on it. So you buy a new 2016 F-Type, it's covered for 5 years of warranty as well as 5 years of scheduled maintenance.
Wow.
So it's one of those, we're trying to make sure that everyone knows F-Type, and we're really trying to take over that sports car market again.
I like it. About the sedan, the XJ, right?
Yes.
It's so beautiful. It really is, and it seems so luxurious. I sat in one, was blown away. I talked to a guy who had bought it, and he was like, I was so on the fence about buying it. I didn't know there were several years that Jaguar had a reputation of being, in the repair shop as much as it was on the road. And he's like, I sat on it for 6 months and finally made the decision. I said, it's so beautiful, I got to take a stab at it. And he loved it. He was raving. He's like, you got to love this car. You got to drive this car. It's just unbelievable. I'm really impressed by it. Tell me about, its performance and abilities.
Yeah, the XJ we're really proud of, launched a few years back, all aluminum. So it cut an enormous amount of weight compared to every other car in its class. So when you talk about a flagship sedan that's really a sports sedan, it's one of the only ones out there that you can look for. 0 to 60, we get down into the low 4s when you talk about the XJR with 550 horsepower. But then you have all the luxury as well, where you can have massage, cooling, heating in all 4 of the seats.
Can I just have the seat? I just want the seat.
Back to that part where we were talking about me being very lucky with where I am. It's an absolute treat. And
those
the
seats on set. We could everybody could be interviewed in one of the seats.
I'd just stay here all day.
Speaking of that, I love the seats in the Range Rover. They are literally the most comfortable seats in any vehicle I've ever been in.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. We spent a lot of time in terms of our seats, whether it's for the F-Type, making sure that they can hug you in every single corner and make sure that you're planted, or things like the Range Rover and the XJ, where we want ultimate comforts for the long haul if you're going on really long trips. So it's every piece of the car now we've got so much focus on.
And I love the armrests in the Range Rover too. Yeah, I think that
design,
they're amazing. And I know people have unfortunately been in accidents in them, but they really hold up, and everybody's been okay. So it's wonderful. 2 great car brands, Jaguar and Range Rover. They're amazing cars. We got to hear a little bit about them, and that's awesome. Hopefully we'll do more in the future on them, being that they have headquarters in New Jersey and we're based in Secaucus. So we've got a lot more for you here at the New York International Auto Show. It's 2015, the New York International Auto Show on BeTerrific. I'm Michael Artsis. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Don't go anywhere.